Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today we are going to be playing with some translucent clay, some alcohol inks, and a stamp. This is from Create Along. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to be able to see all the detail until I put the ink on with it being clear. So just to jump right into it, we're going to get our black ink. And then I am going to make sure that I am covering my stamp really well. And you'll be able to start seeing all these beautiful details on this stamp. And I'm going to go over it just a couple times to make sure that it stays wet for my clay. And now you can see how gorgeous that is. So let's put that right on. And then I am going to press down on this. And hopefully I'll get a nice deep impression. Now I do have my clay rolled out to my 4th thickest setting on my pasta machine. There we go. And then I'm going to lift straight up. And look how gorgeous. Is that not beautiful? So having the acrylic block really just helps keep everything somewhat even. You can see right here was I slightly missed that area, but everything else I got beautifully. So I'm going to let that ink kind of dry for a couple minutes. It doesn't take long for that ink to dry. But here, let me show you one more time how gorgeous that stamp is. I love this stamp. I've been wanting to play with this. So this is the first time I'm trying it. And then you can see how gorgeous that came out. All the detail in there. Just beautiful. This particular piece, all I want to do is really just paint it and have some fun. And you can see this is all flowers. So we are just going to make this a very, very colorful, fun piece. And let's start out with the green for the leaves. And this is just regular alcohol ink. And then I'm just going to start painting my piece. And I'm going to try to be careful because I don't want my ink to really spread too much. I want it to really kind of stay where I put it. I think those are like succulents, so I might do those an actual different color green. I'm not sure if that's what they are. Maybe I could add like a lemon yellow to that green. And then change the color a bit. That'll be fun. So I am going to rinse my brush out in between colors so it doesn't spread and mix. But I'm pretty sure these are like succulents. These big ones here, we're going to do those purple because they're just beautiful. So I'm actually going to mix like 2 different color purples and have some fun with those ones. Oh, this one's leaking everywhere. That's not cool. My hands are going to be all... Okay. Let's get the baby wipes. Oh, I'm going to have some... I can't believe that. Ay, ay, ay. What happened there? All right. Let me move this. Gotta clean up this huge mess before it becomes a bigger mess. But I don't know how this ended up leaking. But now I am all covered in this. All right, well, we'll go with it. I'll wash my hands afterwards because I'm sure I am going to get covered some more. So what I'm doing is just kind of putting one color in this area. And then I'm going to take my darker purple and go right next to it. And that should technically give me two different color purples together. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's add our reds. I don't know what is going, I don't know if this stuff is like dripping into the lids, but I am not having a good day with this ink. I have never had this happen before. What a nightmare. I really hope that this comes off of me, because that is going to be terrible if it doesn't. Let's see, I'm going to mix some reds up into the different flowers. Oh, I forgot the little green one there. So, lesson learned. I'm going to wear gloves the next time I'm playing with ink because this is everywhere. But, you know what? I don't mind getting messy. That's part of the fun, right? I'm actually going to add some red to some of these green parts here, just to kind of break it up a little. I wanted to keep this simple, but I have the feeling that I'm going to go a little crazy with this. All right, let me get my beautiful lemon yellow. I love this yellow. If you're going to use yellow, regular yellow to me almost is like a dirty yellow. And I absolutely love lemon yellow. And I do have like a blend going on here because my brush was not cleaned properly. But that'll give me like a little orange, so I'm okay. I'm going to go with just a new paintbrush for my yellow because I do want just yellow. And let's get a little bit of orange in here. I love adding colors and blending them. I just think it really makes a piece unique and fun. This is kind of blending nicely, so we're going to add that up here. Give me a nice different color like purplish pink. That I'm not going to probably use. Any area that doesn't have like the impression, I'm probably not going to use. All right, now I'm very happy with that. Look how beautiful that came out. Is that not gorgeous? I love that. So now I'm going to get my cutters, and then after it dries, we'll start cutting it. So while that's drying, I'm going to try to get this off my hands. Okay, so my piece is mostly dry, and I'm going to make a statement center pendant, and then I'm going to do a couple pair of earrings. So I'm going to just pick up my area first. I love this area right here. It's just so beautiful. And I'm going to kind of see how it's going to lay. I like right there. And then I want to see if I could get, I think I could hopefully fit 4 of these. Maybe. Let's get this one first. That area. Love. Nope. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit extra ink to the area that I'm going to be missing. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get another, oh, maybe I could do, all right, let's add just a little bit of color here. We're going to add a little bit of blue. All right, so I'm going to leave my stuff right on my my mat, and I'm going to bake it just the way it is. And then after it's baked, I'll clean it up. Right now, I don't want to move everything because it's like super soft from all the alcohol ink, and it's very hot in my house. So that's not helping anything. It's just making my clay very soft. And I'm almost afraid that if I move anything, it's going to kind of get mushy and just distort my piece. So where I cut it, that's where it's going to stay. And then I'll just sand up my edges when everything is done being baked. And then I'll put my holes in. I have a little area right there too. It was clear. Just look over your piece. See if there's anything that's clear that you want to make sure you have ink on it before you bake it. And I'm going to edge my piece, things like that. But these are gorgeous. I absolutely love these. This particular one, I almost want to see if I could put it on a ring. I bought these rings a while back. And I'm wondering if I can, even if I have to cut it down further, it would be neat to have like a little ring piece. Oops. Just to kind of, let me get a different shape. Okay, I think I may try a flower because why not? We have all flowers there. And I am going to use saran wrap because I could just see for how soft this clay is, it would totally get stuck in that cutter. So I love that area right there. That's the area I want to get. Let's get some clay adhesive. And I'm just going to take the little excess here. And we'll stick that in there. Let's just stick that right in there. me smooth out my edges because I can't sand this after it's out. So I want to smooth all my edges out now. And then, you know what, let's put a little ink on here to cover up all that white. Let's go with some purple. Let's cover that up. I'm going to give that about 30 seconds to dry. And then I got to see, what can I put this on to bake on? All right, and my wooden dowel. I'm going to use that to bake my piece on. Okay. Put some clay adhesive on there. And then I almost want to double up the flower. I wonder if I'm sorry guys, I am always all over the page with deciding how I want to do things. I have all these ideas that just go right through my brain. So I'm wondering, since it's going to be a statement piece basically already, let's add a second flower to cover it up completely. Because why not? Oops. Or I could have just did a bigger flower. Nah, I don't like that. See? That's what I mean. Like my brain goes, but I gotta try it. I have to try it. That shouldn't look too shabby, huh? There we go. All that. All right. And then, of course, I always have to add my little stones in the middle. There we go. All right, so we have one flower ring, which looks super cute. And then I'm just going to add just a couple of these. Right in the middle. All right, so now I'll place these all in my oven and I'll bake at the recommended temperature, which is 275. It's all primo. It's a 1/4 inch or a half hour for every 1/4 inch. And then we will come back and see what we have and put everything together. So there you go. Okay guys, so everything is out of my oven. Here's the little ring. I think it's adorable. I'm going to add some edge into it and then do resin to really make it pop. And then look at these. Now initially, I was going to try to make these into like sun catchers, but I decided because they're going to mainly be against the skin anyway, just to cover them. The back doesn't look very pretty. If you paint it or do anything, it's going to take away from the whole sun catch thing anyway. So we are just going to wrap them with white clay in the back. Ooh. And that went flying. I'm going to put my clay adhesive on the backs of everything. And I need my jump rings because I am actually going to add jump rings to this right away. So let me close these. And this is what I will connect my chain to. I'm going to make sure these are flat. All right, make sure your liquid clay or your clay adhesive, whichever you're using, is completely covering your clay. And I want to make sure no air is underneath this piece. I'm going to bring it up. Now I am going to trim this all up, but I'm going to bring it up and over to give it a nice clean look when I cut it. I think this is fabulous. I really do. I like this a lot. And then I'm just going to take my blade and trim. And then I'm going to smooth. Give it a nice smooth look. All right, I'm going to put my jump rings, and the part that is open is going to go inside first. So kind of just give yourself that little opening. Put that in, center it, and then press it. I'm actually going to add a little bit more clay right there because that is kind of thin. So I want to make sure that I have that support that I need. And my clay is thin to begin with. I have it rolled out to a number 5 on my pasta machine, so it's not very thick at all. I didn't want my back. I don't want my pieces to be thick, so I like to kind of do it a little bit thinner. But for something like this, I know I need to have that support for my jump ring. So I'm just going to add a little bit extra, and then I'm going to smooth it. Make sure it's still one piece, just a little bit thicker in that general area. And just kind of take your time on this particular part. So you want to make sure that everything is embedded nicely. any of that white clay off of my piece. And now I'm just going to take my white bead and smooth everything on the sides. And then take any extra clay off that is kind of bubbling up around. I just can't believe it's so hot. It's like 90 some degrees outside. I have my air conditioner on. That's probably, you'll probably hear the noise in the background. And my clay is just so soft. It's actually really hard to work with right now. And let me see, do I have a flower texture? I am actually going to take this texture mat. I'm going to decorate the back side because why not? I'm going to get my mica powder. That looks really nice. So now I'm just going to kind of get a wax or something to kind of outline that stuff. I almost feel like I like to put something darker. Let's kind of mix it up a bit. Why not? Let's have some fun with it. And we'll add a little silver. I love this silver. Silver is honestly my favorite. So we have a little of everything. Kind of gold, blue, silver. Let's throw some green. Let's see if I could get some green. Why not? I'm always about kind of just having fun with my pieces and seeing what the outcome is going to be. There we go. I like that. So all those mixes of colors look beautiful. So now I will put this back in my oven, and I'll do these two. I'm not going to do them on camera because there's no reason for you to watch me do this twice. So I'll do those two, and then I'll place this in the oven. Bake it the same way, you know, half hour every 1/4 inch at 275 if you're using Primo. And then we will be returning to put our resin on, put our chains on, and finish everything up. All right, guys, my pieces are finally out of the oven. Here's one of them. I have the other ones underneath my UV light. I kind of went ahead and did those, but I'm going to show you what I did. So I'm going to take my black Sharpie creative marker, and I am going to edge my sides and back, or yeah, just my sides. So I want to get rid of all the pink that shows in the front and on the side. So take your time doing this so you kind of stay in where you're supposed to. I can't wait to show you what these look like done. They are so beautiful. I cannot believe how gorgeous they look. but I want to show you each step before I show it to you. So you can see I'm just being real careful going around the front of my piece, just so I don't make any marks on it. And then I'm going to go and start finishing off the sides here. And this just gives it a nice clean look. If you haven't seen me use these markers yet, I gotta tell you, these markers are fabulous. They come in all different colors and they're wonderful to edge all your clay projects. So it gives you some color besides the gold and silver that I always use. It is just a nice way to change things up a bit. Okay, so I give that a couple minutes to dry. Next, I took my chain and I cut 2 inches a small chain. Okay, so I got 2 of them for 1 earring. And then you're going to need your little tiny jump rings. So you'll need 3 for each earring. And then I have 2 jump rings for my necklace. I'm also using, oops, a little ball post here. So I'm going to use that as well. Before I put the resin on, I want to put my gloss glaze on. And the reason I'm doing that before is this way I only have to resin once, because sometimes you will accidentally get Sculpey gloss glaze on your resin and then it makes a weird mark on it and it just doesn't look as pretty. There we go. So I'm going to take my paintbrush. I go right over the black that I just did. Oops, I'm dripping. Go over. This will protect my little marker here. And if you get on the front, no big deal. Now if we resin first and we get it on the front, then it's a big deal. So we want to do the gloss first. Then just cover your entire piece with your glaze. And then I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry, and then I'll pop on and we'll put this all together. All right, so my next step is I am going to start assembling my pieces before we put the resin on. So grab your 2 pairs of pliers, grab your chain, and the reason I did 2 inches is I want these to be really long. The whole trend this year is big, bold, beautiful jewelry. So I am going with big and bold today. And who doesn't love a big earring? I have short hair, so I love to put on big earrings that say, I am here. So let's put that on. And I am not going to resin the back. The back is what's going to be touching your neck and things like that. And truthfully, it looks beautiful with just the gloss glaze, so it doesn't need to be resin. This front, with that with the resin, it is going to pop in color. And that's why I went with that. Oh, you know what? I used a bigger one for that. Okay, I used a bigger jump ring at the very top to connect both my pieces. There we go. I want to make sure this is completely together. There we go. And then one little one to connect my ball. Now when you put the ball on, make sure it will be facing the correct direction. I think that is the correct direction. Let me check that. You don't want your earring on backwards. Yes, so that's right. Okay. Now we're going to put the resin on. Everything is dry on the top. I have my little resin tool and then my little stick that I like to hold my piece in place. And then I am going to pull all my stuff over. And get right up to the very top. Get your lighter, get all the bubbles out, and then we'll put this under our UV light for about 5 minutes. Okay guys, so I took my pendant out from the light. Look how gorgeous that is. Is that not absolutely stunning? I love this piece. So my last thing to do is put my chain on. And by that time, then both my earrings will be done. So what I like to do sometimes is just take a chain that's already made. And then I will take some sort of pin. Like here's an eyelet pin. I'm going to line these two O-rings. So the two that connect. I'm going to line them up. And then I'm going to find my middle section of my necklace. So I know right there is where I need to cut. So I'm just going to hold on to the one next to it. Get my clippers. Make sure I'm cutting the right one. And clip it. And then I'm just going to take my 2 jump rings. And add my little jump rings onto here. Now, I did not edge my ring. I was going to, but I thought it was perfect the way that it was after it was baked. So I didn't want to go messing it up, so I left it the way it was. Sometimes leaving things the way they are is better than adding. So that's what I decided to do. And I'll get my last one here. And for the ring, what I ended up doing was I put it in clay, and I'll show you that in 1 minute as soon as I can get this jump ring into this tiny little chain. Sometimes they're very hard because the chain is so tiny that if you don't have it positioned right, it's hard to find that little hole. Let me get... You know, if I wasn't on camera, I wouldn't be struggling. I'll close that. Okay. And there. So then you have a full necklace. And it's leveled. It's even. Perfect. Very, very easy. So I put it in clay. And then I just put it underneath the UV light like that. But look at that. Is that not adorable? I love that ring. I think that is so cute and fun. And then I have my pendant and my earrings. I love this set. I think this set is fabulous. I'm very happy with it. I hope that you guys love it as much as I do. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment. And I will see you all next time. Bye.